Hey all, TC Kirkham here. Welcome to TC's Vinyl Archive, the complete album collection, episode 20, I think. I don't remember which. We've wrapped up all the major artists, and we've wrapped up the soundtracks in a very long show. This one's going to be divided into two shows, because I didn't realize I had this much until I actually sat down and looked at the cases. This show and next show, we will be talking about contemporary instrumental music. These are everything except rock, including pop and disco, that's instrumental, as well as blues, jazz, easy listening, beautiful music, classical to some extent. And it is alphabetized by the artists that are particularly associated with it, and I have several that I have quite a few of. The first show is going to be A through L, and the second show M through Z, because I have a lot in both of those. So let's get started with A's. Solo piano performances from Margie Adams. This is Naked Keys. Really cool stuff. Jazzy, new age style stuff. It's Happening Now. Ronnie Aldrich and his two pianos with the London Festival Orchestra. Ronnie Aldrich, I think, was the BBC, was Benny Hill's guy. I'm not sure. But it's all contemporary instrumental, like you would have heard on a beautiful music channel in the late 60s. Hey Jude, Light My Fire, Both Sides Now. A couple of them do have like background vocals, but other than that, it's mostly instrumental. Now, the first big artist in this group on this particular episode is this gentleman. I have a ton of his stuff, and it's divided into the two eras that he was popular. Solo first, and then his group. We'll start with this, which is just an absolutely dynamite album. Beyond, Herb Alpert, 1980 or 81. Forget which. This album it had Red Hot on it, and Beyond, the title track, were both minor adult contemporary hits. This, I think, it's hard to choose. I would say this is probably, of all the solo albums I have, this is probably my favorite one. I love them all, but I played this more than anything. It also includes his version of That's the Way of the World, which I love. And just great stuff all the way around. Next up, this is Blow Your Own Horn from 1982, I believe. This has Garden Party, the new version of Red Hot, the more dancey version of Red Hot, and a few other people. This came out and was dedicated to his friend Karen Carpenter. Great album again from Herb. Terrific stuff. The title track is great. Garden Party was the hit off this. It was a top 30 AC hit, and I think it peaked in the 50s on the Hot 100. It was a great song. Bullish. This one technically is Herb solo, but it's billed to the Tijuana Brass, so I put it in Herb solo. It was the first thing that he'd done using that name for a while, and includes his version of Maniac, which is performed by Lanny Hall, his wife. I consider this a solo album, despite the fact that Tijuana Brass is part of it. I only consider this as a modern one. Bullish is the name of the album, so I put it in his modern stuff. Fandango is next. I believe this was 1980 or 81. This has California Blues, Route 101, and Angel on it, plus the title track, which is, you've heard, if you watch a sports programming in the 80s and 90s, you heard Fandango a lot. Great album there. What was the name of this? Keep Your Eye on Me. This was the last big hit album he had that I have in the most recent. I picked this up from Adam, I believe. No, Music Scene. It may have come from Dawn. I did not have it before that. Has Keep Your Eye on Me, Making Love in the Rain, and Diamonds. The latter two were big hits. Diamonds was a number 2 smash with Janet Jackson on the vocals. And Magic Man from 1984, I believe. This has Secret Garden, Besame Mucho, and the title track. And Rise. Actually, this isn't the last solo one. Rise, I finally got from Adam a couple of years ago. Rise and Rotation, both big top 40 hits. Rise was a #1 hit, his big comeback hit. And I mean, it was used in such a positive manner on General Hospital. And the last of the solos, this is Wild Romance. This came out after Keep Your Eye on Me, I believe. It has a lot of stuff with other artists. This is a promo I picked up. I believe this came from Dawn. You Are the One, Wild Romance, and No Time for Time are the singles as posted in the stickers. I think this is from 87 or 88, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, 86, sorry. So that means Keep Your Eye on Me might have been later. I'm not sure. Now we come into the three I have on album. I have more on CD from Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. This is Going Places. I got this. I had not had any of these on vinyl forever until I got a couple of them from Black Box. This is one I got from Black Box. Going Places, of course, has Tijuana Taxi, Spanish Flea, and I think those, and Zorba the Greek. Those were the 3 hit singles from here. Then there is Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, Warm. Let me check this. I believe this is the album. The Continental is on here. I don't remember them having any really big hits from this, and I think this was from early 70s, after their heyday. I'm not positive. It's a good album, though. 2 different copies of What Now My Love. This is the American issue on A&M. And What Now My Love has a lot of cover stuff on it, and unfortunately, The Shadow of Your Smile. And this is a British pressing of the same album from Royal Sound. It was on over there. And a different lineup of songs, for the most part, different order. And I picked this up from Black Box. I was so happy to get it because I'd never had it on the full album. This is the 50th anniversary reissue of Whipped Cream and Other Delights, which of course features A Taste of Honey, Whipped Cream, and his version of Love Potion No. 9, which was a minor hit. And of course, the most parodied album cover in history. Now, that takes care of the Herb Alpert. Now, let's go into some more. Next up, love this single. Finally bought the album, I believe from Record Crate, may have come from Dawn a couple years ago, and the whole album is actually really excellent. This is Apollo 100 and Joy. Features their top 10 pop cover of Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, known as Joy, which came out in 71, and a bunch of other current stuff and great original stuff from them as well. 3 from Chet Atkins. I think all of these came from Steve at Value Vinyl. More of that guitar country. Chet Atkins, who is one of the best country guitar pickers of all time, as well as a producer, writer, everything. This one features the country guitar version of Yakety Sax called Yakety Axe. He had a number of other hits off this album. Terrific music. Then there is The Pops Go Country. This is Chet Atkins with the Boston Pops, conducted by Arthur Fiedler. And this has Tennessee Waltz, so Alabama Jubilee on top of Old Smoky, Adios Amigo, Cold Cold Heart, Orange Blossom Special, all kinds of good stuff. And Relaxin' with Chet. These are all mostly slower numbers, including April in Portugal, Sophisticated Lady, In the Chapel in the Moonlight, and another list of other great songs. I got this from that 10 for 10 from the Vinyl Community member that was selling off stuff a few years ago. And this is actually interesting rock. I probably should have included it in the rock groups the way I include Joe Satriani in the rock men, but I feel it fits better here because it is primarily instrumental. This is Balcone's Fault and the title album of the same name. Um, I listened to it once. It's quite interesting. It's proggy rock. There's some vocals on it, but mostly it's instrumental and very interesting. Classic album from one of the greatest guitar players of all time, Mr. George Benson. This is Breezin'. Features the title smash and his Grammy-winning smash, This Masquerade. What an album. You know, it's strange. I never got another... I got this from Adam at Record Crate. I never picked up or Don. I got it somewhere. Never picked up a George Benson album. I have a ton of his singles, but never had an album until this one. And then Black Box sent a newer one that was done in 2014. George Benson, Hell's Chuck Berry, and Fats Domino, Walking to New Orleans, Remembering Chuck and Fats. Great, great stuff. I mean, you got classic stuff here from both of those artists. Then we come into the general instrumental demo. This is a demo record. Jensen presents the Best of 79 Marching Band. These are marching band arrangements performed by a in-house band. I mean, everything that was out at the time, and I think this was 79? 79, yep. Everything that was out, you got little clips of the theme from Taxi, Ready to Take a Chance Again, Londonderry Air, The Entertainer, When I'm 64, and a ton of others as would be played by a high school marching band. Paul Bley and Tango Palace. This is on Soul Note Records. This is actually, I would consider this a soulful jazz. It's not free jazz. It's really interesting. And I believe, I don't remember if I got this from Black Box or if I got that in the 10 for $10 ones. It's a cutout though, so it may have come, I don't know where I got it, but I liked it a lot when I listened to it. Another one of those sounds like bands. This is Brasilia 66 doing hits Mas Canada and Guantanamera as performed by Sergio Mendes in Brazil 66. But these are actually pretty decent cover bands. The label is Wincoat, which was a specialty label that masterfully did this kind of stuff. And really interesting takes on some popular songs from 66 and 67. Discovery, Larry Carlton. This is the only Larry Carlton album I have on vinyl. I think I have one or two on CD, and I have a couple of singles also. Larry, masterful jazz guitar player, smooth jazz guitar player. Really fantastic stuff. This came from Dawn. She knew I was into beautiful music, and she sold me quite a few of these things. This is Frank Chaxfield and his orchestra, Weekend in New England. Chaxfield was an artist who specialized in music for beautiful music radio. He's a pianist, and this album has, it's sealed at the top. I'm with plastic, I'm not going to open it up. But this album includes Silly Love Songs, Weekend in New England, Come In From the Rain, The Things We Do for Love. All beautiful music versions by Frank Chaxfield. There is Accordion de Paris, music of the French Cafe with Francois Chantal. And it's all French cafe or accordion music, basically, just like it says. It's really actually a lot of good stuff. This I got from Dawn, and she actually played this on her Weird Album Wednesday. John Clegg and his orchestra, Music for Nervous People. This is an interesting little album. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's beautiful music with a twist. Best way to put it. It's an interesting little experiment. Okay. Whoa. Almost dropped that pile. Um, Floyd Kramer was one of my mom's favorite artists, and I have a couple of albums by him. This one I picked up on my own. This is his 1980 album, Dallas. It features all TV themes from the mid-70s and early 80s. Dallas was a #1 hit on my chart, and his version of The Incredible Hulk was a top 3 hit on the Kirkham Report chart. Well, I'll just show it to you. There's a list of shows that he did the themes from. Really good stuff. And the Floyd Kramer and the Keyboard Kick Band. This is late 70s on RCA. Features a lot of pop music. Rhythm of the Rain is here. The theme from Mary Hartman is here. Making Our Dreams Come True from Laverne and Shirley. And he actually is using the synthesizers here, which you don't normally see him do. He's usually a grand piano type of guy. The Bob Crew Generation. This is a classic album from 1967. Music to Watch Girls By. If you don't know what that song is, you were obviously not yet born by the time the commercial campaign for Pepsi Cola in the late 60s went by. Title track. Bob Crew, of course, the gentleman in the middle, and he was a major producer and writer in the 60s and 70s. Martin Denny's Exotic Sounds on Broadway. This is Mr. Exotica himself doing popular Broadway tunes of the day. Hernando's Hideaway, Donkey Serenade, September Song, Strange Music, Clap Yo Hands, and other things from Broadway. This is his best-known album, Quiet Village. Of course, this is his tiki-inspired music, and the whole album is like that. I love Martin Denny. He is just absolutely fabulous. And Romantic, this is his take on romance songs and such. Most of these are original. There were a couple of covers here, but they are all excellent. And Dawn, thank you for finding these for me. This has an all-star cast with Diodato. Now, I have one Diodato album that is in the male vocalists. And I was going through these, and I'm like, where's my other Diodato? I should have it in here, except it has vocals on it. This is mostly instrumental. So I think I'm going to keep them separate in separate places. This is 2001. Of course, it had his hit version of the also Sprach Zarathustra in 1973, I believe, and a bunch of other good stuff. This is almost entirely instrumental, so that's why I kept that here. This came from Steve at Value Vinyl, Arthur Fiedler, Artie Feedy, and the Boston Parks Orchestra with encore Fiedler's greatest hits, Romeo and Juliet, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, Midnight Cowboy, The Blue Diamond Waltz, all here along with other stuff. One of my mom's favorite artists. She used to have a bunch of singles by him, and I don't know what happened to them because they didn't end up in my collection. This is Licorice Stick from Pete Fountain. Let me look at this. I forget which songs, if any. I don't think any of these were big hits. Born to Lose was the one. Oh, yeah, Born to Lose is on here. That was Mom's favorite. And Fountain Blue is on here, too, which was my favorite. The only thing I have on Coral Records, as far as I know. I might still have one of the singles, but I don't recall seeing it. P. Fountain, obviously a clarinet player, and fantastic. Used to love him when he used to guest star on The Tonight Show. Got this from Dawn. Organ music from France. Modern monuments to a great tradition. Cathedrals in sound. Virgil Fox is the artist. It's not bad. He's playing the organ of New York's Riverside Church, and it's classical, and it's actually really good. And now, the inimitable Kenny G. This is Duotones, the album that launched 1,000 ships, as it were. Songbird is on this album. So is, what was the other single? Don't Make Me Wait for Love. Champagne is my favorite song of his of all time. No, is that the right one? Champagne? Let me check. Yes. Yes. My all-time favorite Kenny G song. Love this. Love him. I've done an influencers about him, so you know I have the other ones. This is G-Force, the second album. No big hits yet off this, but some really great music. I love Hi, How You Doing and Tribeca. Great songs from him. The third album, Gravity, actually did produce a Hot 100 hit called Love on the Rise with R&B singer Kashif. G-Force, One Night Stand, and Love on the Rise all came from this. And they changed this when it came back out on CD. Because look at that geeky picture. This is the original album from Kenny G, 1982. Mercy, 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 Here We Are, I Can't Tell You Why. He was a great player. Boy, was he a geek on that cover. I can't believe they thought that was a good idea. And the Galactic Force Band, with more rip-off covers of science fiction music, including Close Encounters, 2001, Star Wars theme, Close Encounters, Star Trek, and a couple of original Space Dust and Galactic Go-Go. Okay, the next group. Another artist I love dearly, and I have some on CD by. I picked these up from, I believe these all came from Adam at Record Crate, because he had them all on sale one time. And they're all in pretty good shape, considering they're all from the 50s. My aunt had a lot of these, and I fell in love with them when I was a kid. So that has a lot to do with why I had them here. Jackie Gleason presents Lonesome Echo. There is some debate as to how much Jackie actually had to do with these. I personally do believe he did the arrangements and the conducting on these. Some people have said no, he didn't do anything, he just put his name on them, but I don't agree. I've seen pictures of him doing stuff and video of him doing stuff musically, and I think these albums are fabulous. Space Age Bachelor Pad style music. There's that one. There is his #1 selling music for lovers only. And this one, Music, Martinis, and Memories. All absolutely fabulous if you like that kind of music, and I do. I love it. Greatest detective themes from the Johnny Gregory Orchestra. There's a list of all the themes you can get on this album. Why isn't that in soundtrack? Because it has a specific orchestra listed as doing them all. Next up, another one of my larger collections, Dave Grusin. Dave is a film composer. He is a jazz musician, keyboard player, as is his brother Don. And I have some from both of them, and I love this, and I think I got 7 or 8 CDs. I got a ton of them in a cutout sale from oldies.com a few years ago. This is Mountain Dance from 1982. Really great stuff on here. My favorite song is the title track, Ragbag. Captain Carib is awesome. This is Out of the Shadows from 1980. No, this is 82, so that one's 80. This has She Could Be Mine, which I believe was featured in Tootsie. Also Anthem International, which is, if you heard it, you'd know it. It's been on everything. And Sweetwater Nights. My favorite Dave album solo is this one, Nightlines. This is a mix of jazz and pop fusion. It has some great instrumental stuff with vocals by some terrific people, including Phoebe Snow, Randy Goodwin, music from David Sanborn. It is absolutely fabulous. It includes his hit single version of the theme from St. Elsewhere, which he also wrote. But this album is amazing. Then there's a later album he and Don did together. This is Dave and Don, Sticks and Stones. Absolutely fantastic, from 1985, if I'm not mistaken. Birds with Long Legs, Sticks and Stones, River Song. You've heard some of these on my various shows because I've used some of the background music. And Dave Grusin with Lee Ritenour and Harlequin. This is just top notch. You can't get better than those two together. Plus, they have a whole list of other people that are great with them on this album. Then it's Jan Hammer and the Early Years. This was released in the wake of his success with the Miami Vice theme. Really good early recordings from the mid 70s through the early 80s. All synthesizer, of course. Fantastic. This one is Eddie Harden, Dawn Till Dusk. It actually has embossed, I don't know if you can see it, the words New Age on it. This is New Age music, otherwise known as contemporary instrumental, because I understand a lot of the artists do not like it when you call it New Age. And this actually came with a little booklet that goes with it, talking about the type of music it is and such. The Earl Hines Quartet. This came from Dawn, and Earl Hines, of course, a great jazz artist. One of Steve at Value Vinyl's favorites. I think this came from Dawn though. Actually, Al Hirt, the greatest horn in the world. This does not have any of his big hits on it. He's best known for Flight of the Bumblebee from Green Hornet and a few other things. But side 1 is with his swinging band. Side 2 is with his string orchestra. It's really, really good. Star Trek fans will remember this young man. He was 15 or 16 when this came out. And Adam had it for, I don't remember, or Dawn. It says $2 here, but I know I paid more than that. The Craig Hundley Trio, Arrival of a Young Giant. Craig was actually best known, I believe he's in the Star Trek episode And the Children Shall Lead. I might be wrong. It's been so long since I saw the original series. Great jazz music from a trio of 15 and 16-year-olds. Absolutely incredible. And the best of Bert Kaempfert. This is all of Bert's great instrumental music, from Strangers in the Night to The World We Knew, 3 o'clock in the morning, Spanish Eyes, stuff you'd hear on Beautiful Music Radio. And the last set for this show, the B.B. King Blues Band with Taj Mahal, Joe Louis Walker, Kenny Rain Shepherd, Michael Lee, and Kenny Neal, the soul of the King. This is B.B. King music in a tribute album that is absolutely dynamite. I'm not a big blues guy, but the name Kenny Wayne Shepherd immediately caught my attention because I love him, and this is awesome. Earl Klug, Keynotes, got this from Dawn. It is mid-80s guitar jazz. Terrific stuff. I sought this out too because I had a track or two from this on a sampler, and I'm like, I love that. I want this. This is Steve Kuhala and Fresh Flute. It is jazz fusion flute. Features, I think that, what are the two singles I have in here? Nicole and the Matador, both of which are on the Atmospheres CBS sampler on CBS FM Classical. Absolutely awesome. If you like flute music, this is really something. We'll talk more about Herbie Mann on the next show. Hey Don, remember this album? The Virtuoso Recorder. I actually bought this when Don and Mary were doing an auction. I think that was an auction with Record Crate, actually. And I got sick of them pushing it, and I finally bid on it. And you know, it's actually very good. I enjoyed this immensely, and I'm glad I got it. So don't worry about it, Don. The Devlin Lamar Organ Trio, Cold as Weiss. This is from... doesn't have a date on it on the album. I would have to look at the album itself. This came from Black Box. It is world's premier funky organ trio, just like it says on the hype sticker. It's really cool stuff, and I really like it. It has a cool, very neat. Oh, you can't see it on that side. Like a blue swirl pattern on the vinyl, and it sounds awesome. The music of Lionel Richie as played by the Sven Liebeck Orchestra. Instrumentally, it's called. This is all of Lionel's hits, both his own and a couple from the Commodores. Just a minute, I have to rearrange something. Gotta keep these in the proper order or they won't go back. A couple albums from Possibly one of the greatest piano players of all time. Original? Not really. Fun? Definitely. Show-stopping? Completely. Liberace, my most requested. This is his hits album from the 60s that featured all of the songs that he was known for from his TV show and his Las Vegas shows. And this one came from Steve at Value Vinyl. It is basically the same thing. 3-record set of all the classic music that he used to do. Magnificent movie themes from Enoch Light and the Light Brigade. This is on the Command Records label, which I think Light was the owner of or co-owner of. It has a lot of movie themes from 67 to 70, probably. Although Chim Chim Cheree is on here, Goldfinger is on here. But stuff as late as the Sandpiper. And so this is actually 60 to 65 from the themes of the movies. And it's great instrumental music. Then we have, I want to make sure I give the credit to the right orchestra, the London Symphony Orchestra and Chamber Choir with guest soloists. This is the London Symphony's version of The Who's Tommy. This thing is mind-blowing. I remember seeing this in the store when I was a kid, and they had a hit record off of it, an instrumental version of See Me, Feel Me, and Pinball Wizard. Really excellent stuff. And we will wrap up this show with the Johnny Lewis Trio and the In Crowd. This is cover versions of songs that were popular in the 60s by a jazz trio that is pretty good. Rock Me Baby, Lonesome Me, Tequila, stuff like that. Now, when the next show comes up, I'm aiming this to be Friday and Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday. The second show will feature M through the end of it, I think. I don't think I have any Z's. I think it goes through Y. M will start with Herbie Mann, and we'll go from there. Herbie's another great flautist who I have discovered did some incredible disco stuff in the mid-70s. And really good stuff. I only have one or two of his albums, though. And we'll get to my massive Miko collection at the same time. A lot of stuff coming up in M through Z. In any case, thank you for watching. I hope you've been enjoying this series. If you have and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Also, please like, share, and support by, first of all, by commenting. And then, if you can afford to, please donate to our GoFundMe or pick up some merch from our merch store, or donate through Patreon, Ko-Fi, or Buy Me a Coffee. We'd really appreciate your support. For TC's Vinyl Archive, the complete album collection, I am TC Kirkham at TKR Video Central, and I will see you next time for more instrumental contemporary music. I'll see you on the interwebs. Ciao, baby.